Hello, welcome to a new video where we're on a sand dune, our third day at Death Valley National Park. We're going to be doing some photography in the sand. I got a couple of people with me today. They're all hiking out there. Just want to do a little introduction. It's a nice day out, bluebird sky. Mainly going to be focusing on telephoto work. I also did some telephoto work this morning at Zabriskie. Beautiful lighting. So I'm hoping to get something similar down here this evening. The sand feels nice, huh?
So nice.
It's like you're at a beach. One thing about sand dunes is that you gotta keep walking. You gotta keep hiking from dune to dune to scout your composition. Last time I got here, I've been here a couple times and I recognize some of these dunes. But today, for some reason, maybe because of the recent rain, I could not recognize some of the patterns. You know, it's nature, things change. So I'm just walking around and scouting a few things. I found one composition already, but the light is still really harsh. It will take about another 30 minutes or so until the light gets really nice, and that's where the magic's gonna start. And I even took a shot of I don't know if you can see it from the screen, but there's a moon. Yeah, I think the moon is like right there. Yeah, I even took a shot of the moon. But let's see with the composition that I'm working with. Here is the first click of the session. I end up having to hike around for a bit before finding this composition. There was quite a bit of rain a few days ago, and maybe that is the reason I felt most dunes out in the distance look kind of flat. I was on a time crunch despite getting to the area early because the daylight is quite short post-Christmas. This image I shot 3 frames focus stacked with my 400mm from the bottom, middle, and the top. Light was still fairly harsh, but I love the strong contrast that it's giving between light and shadow. No matter the condition, this type of dune photography with a telephoto is all about the light. Just for fun, I took one image at 400mm of the moon. Surprised to see that much detail even at this distance. I think I found another perspective from down here. If I could zoom in, you can see some people out there. Maybe I can do a composition with those people. Oh, that did not work. There was too much footprints. That's one thing about shooting at the direction where the dune is popular, where most people go, is that you'll have a lot of footprints. Ooh, I think I'm coming up on something really nice here. Okay, lights got a lot better, and I finally found a composition. I'm pointing my camera right there about 100mm. I think I have to focus stack this one. Okay, once I got the shot, I felt I was headed to the right direction. It was not only about hopping from one dune to another, it is also about chasing where the light was going. As the sun dips down, the shadows start to engulf the areas you were just shooting before, but when the contrast shifts, you get a different perspective. This shot was also focus stack, and I did a lot of focus stacking during this whole session. You might be wondering why bother when I'm using a telephoto. Well, those ripple patterns you see in the bottom, I was not getting as sharp as I could with the wider aperture, and things were looking quite soft. Another big reason is better safe than sorry. It's always good to have those extra frames. This was another 3 frames stacked together, and if I were to give a tip regarding focus stacking, I would say take as many frames as possible, just like the extra frame you would take for panoramas. Down a dune, up a dune, down a dune, up a dune. Walking around, I think I've only got 2 shots so far and the light's getting good. I'm having some uncomfortable things with my eyes right now. I think the sunblock is getting into my eyes. It stings. I'm having a really nice time in the sand. It's a nice day. It's kind of breezy. I was hoping for some sand dust, but I don't think that's happening. Going up another dune. Just also looking back where I left my stuff. I got a couple of my friends looking over it. I'm noticing most of my shots today, I have to do some focus stacking. And whenever I do focus stacking here, this is coming from experience, I had to take as many shots as possible so that the area of focus will be covered. I remember a couple years ago when I did only like 2 or 3 shots, some areas were still out of focus. So this time I'm really hoping how I'm going is I'm going like a zigzag way. So I'll start from the bottom and then a little bit more up, and then just go like in a zigzag. There's always a different perspective as you keep walking over. That one dune that you saw a minute ago, all of a sudden become this new looking shape, a unique looking shape from a different perspective. Or I might be shooting at the same dune, but from a different angle and it looked entirely different. There's this dune out in the distance that I really like. Somewhere over there. Let's see if my 400mm can do something. Really happy with how this came out. I did not hold back on the contrast during post-processing because I really wanted to showcase the separation between the light and the shadow. I just love the chaotic nature and drama of this landscape. I will be honest, I was feeling quite uninspired when I was scouting because of how flat the scenes were. Although facing towards me there are much larger triangular peaks I could capture, but I have shot these peaks earlier this year and so many times before, and today I challenged myself to find something different and to be a bit more creative with the light I was given. It is always difficult to jump out of your comfort zone, but sometimes you need to do that for growth, for your creativity, and in general. You learn a lot from these challenges, and next time you can approach the scene differently. At sunset and when it's headed towards blue hour, I got 2 more shots of the dunes. Right before the sun dipped, I was getting these golden light brushing on the dunes. Another strong contrast shot. I really liked the repeated patterns of the light in 3 layers. All the compositions I got today will not be possible without good lighting. Even during blue hour, there is still reflected light all around, which changed the color of the sand from golden to completely white. Well, the sun's now gone down and everything looks flat. I think there's a reason why we go maybe February or a little bit during March. It's because the sun sets a little later and get more chances of that soft light. Today, I'm pretty happy with what I got. I focus mainly on just simple comps instead of just spamming multiple shots like I did before, and just practice focus stacking. Practicing focus stacking. Well, I'm gonna see what blue hour will look differently, because when blue hour hits, all these sands, they're all flat, but when blue hour hits, they all turn white and you get this artsy looking sand color. I think it's happening on some of them right now. I also love shooting at this hour because you can do a lot of minimalism with the surrounding elements. I mentioned earlier I didn't spam so many shots today, but instead focused on what I thought were the best composition while chasing the light. That is another important factor in photography, quality over quantity. It was never about having a full backlog of shots after a trip, but a backlog of quality images. I have been practicing to prioritize quality compositions more and more as I continue to grow. It is easier said than done, but when you follow the right lighting, you will capture amazing shots eventually. I briefly wanted to show you guys my sunrise session from this morning where the light was just magical and the reward you get for prioritizing proper composition. I really hope you enjoyed the series of images and all the information I provided through the lessons I learned from my on-field experience. Lighting is everything in photography. There will be a few cases where things could work without the light, but majority of the time, it will create the most epic, dramatic looking shots. And finally, quality compositions over spamming shots on the field. Trust me, the reward is huge. That's about it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.